Insights from the fire department. This is the lieutenant here in Anacostia.
And Bolton, Bolton, and I'm a lieutenant with the fire department.
So you were here among the first on the scene, is that correct?
That's correct.
Tell us, what was it like when you first got here?
When we first got here, we heard gas leaking from the meter that we had identified and were told that was the problem. We checked it out real quickly to see if we were able to secure the leak and identified that we were not able to secure the leak. Requested the assistance of Washington Gas and immediately began evacuating the adjacent exposure buildings with the daycare and the hotel apartment building on the other side.
How noticeable was the gas?
The gas was very noticeable. You could hear it leaking as well as smell it from the street.
And just the idea, I mean, obviously, I guess that's right away. You just know, get everybody out as soon as possible. Is that like just a training thing to know?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we aren't able to identify exactly how bad the environment is. So we just remove everybody until we can make that determination.
How much time went by from the point that you all evacuated to the explosion?
15 minutes? I don't know. I believe it was about 15 minutes. The timeline corroborates that information.
So from the time you got the last person out or when you started evacuating to the explosion?
When we arrived on the scene, so we hadn't even stepped off the fire engine yet, was when that time started.
Can you talk about just the sense of urgency and just explain to our viewers at home sort of why what you saw was so concerning and why you felt you needed to make this decision as quickly as you did to evacuate?
Sure. We all know natural gas is flammable. We all know that it doesn't take anything more than a spark to ignite it in some cases. We were able to smell the gas in the street, making us believe that the gas that was building up inside the buildings would be even at a higher level. So we just wanted to make sure that everybody was out of the buildings and out of the block as quickly as we could.
How orderly was that?
They were actually doing a pretty good job before we ever got here. The daycare staff was clothing the children, putting their coats on, getting them into their strollers so that they could be brought out of the building when I made initial contact with the staff.
Can you compare this leak to other ones? How severe was this?
I've never dealt with anything like this.
Why do you say that?
Most of our leaks are easily detected. We're able to shut them off. This was just happened to be before the shut off, and we couldn't control that leak.
What?
I just reverted to the training that was given to me by the department in the city.
What can you say just about what the explosion looked, sounded, felt like? Were there any firefighters near the building when the explosion happened? I mean, only one person having injuries here. I mean, how would you kind of characterize who was close by and yeah?
The fire department was in the block. The Metropolitan Police were doing their best to help us keep everybody civilian-wise out of the block and continue to clear the block. We keep everybody away from the front of the building so that if something like this were to happen, we're not in the paths of the projectiles per se. So no, nobody was super close except for that one individual that was walking down the street.
But there's a conscientious decision made to stay away from the front of the building in case something like this happens.
Yes, sir.
All right. You said it was 15 minutes from arrival to explosion?
Yes, sir.